Welcome back to Hearts of Iron 4 and a lovely new home screen, because remember when I posted this? Well, this time round I'm lucky enough to be collaborating with Paradox Interactive to show off the new DLC, Graveyard of Empires. So this is all captured on a early access build, so bear that in mind. There may be a few things that change on the release, which is actually right now, March 4th, so check it out with the link in the pinned comment below. So this new DLC brings some changes as expected. Burma is its own nation now. There's focus trees for Iran, Iraq and Afghanistan. They've also split the Middle East up a little bit here as well. But what we're showing off today is the British Raj and its secret focus tree that turns Gandhi into a nuclear madman. So we start off being led by Freeman Thomas. Yes, that is actually his name. I almost reported that as a bug until I googled it. But no, that is his name, Freeman. We start with some not brilliant national spirit, so autonomy progress down, recruitable pop and stability down, risk of famine. So there's a new famine mechanic that we will try and avoid, but essentially if you lose a core or Burma loses a core, it just piles into a big famine that is not brilliant for your nation, as you can imagine. The Great Depression, consumer goods 40 and minus 15 on output of dockyard factory and stability, which also is not very good. And then the old society where you get absolutely none of your manpower, because otherwise you'd be so OP with like 200 million manpower. So that's what we start. We start as a colony as well. But here it is, the chonky new British Raj focus tree. So they have made quite an effort here. So what we're doing today is we're going to go down the road to independence route. We're going to break from the British. We're obviously going to get Gandhi in charge. There's a few different options you can do of how you want to split up and trying to get the autonomy. So that is the big race today. We're going to get progress down. We're going to try and do India United rather than the two-nation theory. And then after Trust with Destiny, there is actually a third option here, a secret third option that we're going to try and unlock today. So we will just start with on the road to independence, start that autonomy progress gain, because we have got a lot of a way to go yet. Now, the problem with India United and trying to break free that way is you don't really get enough autonomy, whereas the two-nation route, you get some nice bonuses here that makes you tick over. So to be able to do the India United path, what we're going to do is we're going to change our law to no garrison on our occupied territory, so that we start rebelling all of our new states here that they've introduced. So all of these are going to start getting massively angry with us. We obviously have a load of new generals. Some of them have new traits, these loyalty to India and loyalty to Britain. There is also this determined, which I believe is new. I don't think I've ever seen that before, attack and defense. So we'll go for him. He is also loyal to India, so when we do break free, we should keep him. What we're also going to do is change all of our divisions to cavalry for the speed, because we're going to need some speedy boys to be mopping up our rebellions that are going to happen pretty soon. As you can tell, we are already ticking towards being annexed because of some already buffs that we have. So it is quite a fight against time to get the autonomy. The question of Aden, so the little bit over here we also own now. We are just going to hand it over to the British because we get 80 autonomy and a civ for it. So we definitely need that to help us break free. I don't believe... No, there's no resources there, so it's absolutely pointless for us to hold on to it, really. Widespread protest. So what we want to do here is any option that increases the resistance. So this is 65, this is only 20 and removes compliance, which we're not too bothered about at the moment. So we'll get our police to stand down, adding 65% resistance, and that is going to tick some of these states up to massively wanting to rebel against us. One down here, 76%. So we will break off a few of our divisions and put them down here, because we obviously need to get the rebellions dealt with quickly when they do break up. Let's do the Gandhi focus. We get a couple of political advisors that help with our autonomy progress gain, so we want them as quickly as possible. Anything that does autonomy, we need as soon as possible. Like this decision here for the new viceroy, we're going to get rid of Freeman, who has a 0.4 autonomy progress gain, and replace him with Victor, who only has a 0.1. So we're getting 0.3 less autonomy gain per day. Same with this one, we're going to imprison the religious violence to get a bigger resistance negative boost. 150 PP, so we'll go and get Gandhi himself, who gives us a 0.3 autonomy progress gain a day and a bit of democratic support, which we don't actually need, but we will flip a democratic later. So as you can tell, we are getting quite red and angry in our states here, so it's only a matter of time. This one up here is looking like the first one's going to flip, so we have surrounded that ready. So we're just doing a little side focuses. Anything that adds autonomy we're going to do. This also helps the Great Depression, which is very handy for us. Don't go doing any of these decisions either because it lowers resistance and lowers our autonomy, so we don't want either of those. Now this protest will tip us over the edge for one of our provinces, so we'll have a rebellion. So the main thing is we've got to make sure we clear it up within 30 days so the famine mechanic doesn't kick in. They do only start with about 3 or 4 divisions, so it's not too difficult to clear these up. So we'll quickly get our cavalry in and smother them, and then you'll see exactly why we are doing this. So now that we've taken one of their provinces, you can see we have a war score contribution in the autonomy 7, which is quite big seeing as we only gain about 0.5 a day. And that's just from one province, hence why we want these to keep kicking off. Obviously, it is a very difficult balancing act to make sure we don't have these rebellions over 30 days. There is the first one done, so we'll just take our land back, which also removes the resistance again. Once you've defeated one, it will come back again, however they do seem to spawn with 0 divisions the next time round, so once you get past the first load of them, it becomes much easier. There is the second one cleared up, so let's have a little look at our autonomy now. So we've gained 60 from that already just by dealing with those 2 little ones. So once they all start spurting off, especially when they have 0 divisions, it's much easier and the autonomy we get is massive. So we just will have some divisions loitered about so we can hit very quickly. Like I say, the 30 days is key. We don't want the famine. Now this one is perfect because the autonomy works on how many tiles you take, not how much fighting you do. So if you've got big ones like this where you can take multiple provinces before you cap them, you get the most autonomy. So we'll just grab all of these before we take the capital. Let's have a little look at what we are now. We have got 300 odd war score contribution, so massive. Independence Act as well, so that'll gain us more. So we are well on our way to becoming free. We do need to complete all the focuses down this little path here before we can become free. And obviously we want to get that done before the end of or mid 39. So we'll start on these in a second. Now before we become free, we do need to do a few focuses over here. So we need the military pensions, the Indian State Force, and more importantly the Viceroy's bodyguard. We have to have done that focus before we become free, otherwise we don't get the event for the secret tree. Viceroy bodyguard is done, so we can go down here and finish the last 2 focuses we need before we can become free. We do also need to have a cavalry division in Delhi as well to be able to get the decision and the event. So make sure you've got a division there when you become free. Just got 140 days now. We do have a Viceroy's bodyguard. Let's put him in Delhi as well, just to make double sure that we have the unit there. Last focus, and we're in June 39, so we are cutting it very close. We do get 150 political power this one, which is good. We already have the PP, but obviously you do need 300 political power to be able to become free. Secular state done, August 39. We become free. We are free India, not with the Allies anymore. We get a trust with destiny, where we get a question of leadership event. Now, because we have the bodyguard in charge, when that kicks off, we get Gandhi now. We can pick a different leader, but if you pick Gandhi, he obviously gets assassinated. But because we have the bodyguards, the Viceroy's bodyguards, we get the event Gandhi survives assassination attempt. So we'll click that decision. After 15 days, you get this event, Gandhi survives assassination attempt. Luckily, because we have a bodyguard, they apprehend the assassin, so no harm done. Now, because we survive the assassination attempt, we get the third option to trust with destiny, I am death, and we get all of these other little focuses down here, the secret part of the tree. So we'll do a trust with destiny, and we can finally unlock that path. Now, after that, we can go and do I am death. Our leader, deep in trance after his assassination attempt, has emerged. Humanity all should be under his firm democratic grasp. But Gandhi gains he who would become death, negative training time, more attack, generate war goal tension limit, join faction tension limit, overwhelming fire tactic if preferred 100%. We would get the Democratic Party become ruling. We can join factions. We can declare war on countries with the same ideology without a war goal. We can justify war goals against a country that has not generated world tension. And we can join any faction. So everything that Democratic does badly, we don't have to do anymore. We better start with a bit of atomic research then with one of our 2 research slots. We are absolutely wasting it for 470 days. So lovely, but we're going to need that for some nuclear activities. I am death. And with that, technically we've unlocked a secret leader because this is no longer Gandhi. This is now Nuclear Gandhi, who is very, very cross looking. He who would become death. Gandhi has got big plans for the world now. I never actually looked at the focuses. So we get Destroyer of Worlds, where we get some nuclear breakthrough and research. And he also gets Destroyer of Worlds, nuclear bomb production rate plus 20%, military and nuclear facility and factory plus 15 and 20%, and a negative to civilian factory. So we won't do that just yet because we're still building civs. Rolling nukes, we get support artillery soft attack plus, air support mission efficiency. We get Jaguar, where we get a few breakpoints and some heavy aircraft research bonuses. Uranium-tipped bullets, where we basically get hard attack and piercing on most of our support equipment and our infantries, actually, and mounted infantry. And division attrition and supply consumption negative for the cleanup crew. We will leave Destroyer of Worlds for a little bit because I'm going to make a few more civs, so there's no point getting negative. We'll continue down this path and then we can go and get our course back of India. Let's switch to local autonomy because we're democratic now. Let's get that autonomy and compliance up so we can start coring our nation back. We've got a long way to go yet before we actually become a bit of a powerhouse. Let's start with Iran as an early conquest. We'll start justifying on them 160 days. I imagine they've got a few factories and bits and pieces now, seeing as they've also got a new focus tree, although it might make them a little bit harder to defeat. I'm going to go superior firepower so that I can get the overwhelming firepower bonus that Gandhi has. Our nation's in a bit of a pickle still, so we still got this religious divide, negative weekly stability until 1942. That's not brilliant, and I can't actually find a way of getting rid of that, so we're just going to get worse stability-wise. Just going to let Iran attack me here because I can't push them, and we're just going to get a load of XP. It's currently risky. We are lacking a lot of equipment, so we'll just sit, we'll get the XP, we'll let our generals build up. We are still trying to get factories and bits and pieces, so we'll just sit here. They can't push us in the mountains. Export tea to the UK for a civ, 70 PP, a civ, and they gain some stability. I mean, yeah, we'll take a free civ for 70, and we can do this 5 times, so we'll just keep exporting a bit of tea to Britain, and we'll get ourselves 5 civs. We are actually smashing through these mountaineer traits, so that is definitely very handy in the situation we're in. So we'll just let all our generals, I believe they're all getting mountaineer, so if we just stay here, all 3 of our generals will end up with mountaineer, probably our field marshal as well, and that should make our future conquests easier. Right, we should be able to start coring our land now, so 30 PP, and we need a lot of compliance and resistance. So we'll just let that tick over, we'll capture a load of PP, although we are getting a lot anyway. And then we can finally start coring all of the independent states. What I will do is go and get the states policy so we get some new garrison laws, and that should help us tick over quicker than the local autonomy. So we should be able to get the new policies now. So, we can't do it everywhere because it's only in the select states. So we get the subjugation, which we don't want. We want independent rule because it does plus to the resistance, plus to the autonomy or compliance, and we don't need that much manpower. It does obviously have negative resources and factories. So in the short term, not very good. In the long term, though, it will build the compliance and then we can just annex them. Iran offers fealty. No, we don't want to be a puppet. We want to conquer everyone. I think if I make a puppet, people are just going to attack them anyway and draw me into a war. So we'll just continue this one. We want all of their land. Another new decision. The Kingdom of Afghanistan wants our territory. I mean, we're not going to give them our territory, and it doesn't even say it gives them a war goal either. So we're going to come for Afghanistan afterwards anyway. So we just want more of a front line by taking Iran is all. Education efforts, which means we have another research slot. We can't get the last one because we need the previous focus, so either land reforms or mixed economy, and then we also need a bit of war support and some more factories or 15% surrender progress, but we don't want that because we don't want to get the famine, and we definitely won't be able to get total mob, so we need some more factories, so there's no point doing them yet, and then we do get a bunch of factories there and the extra last research slot. We'll go for Destroyer of Worlds now then. Let's get our research breakthroughs, and we can then start building mills and nuclear facilities. So we've got 2 more civs, and then we'll start on the facilities and the mills. Wow, we can already start coring parts of our country back. So that was fairly quick. I mean, that does absolutely hamper our political power gain now, which is a bit of a problem. But we will slowly core back the whole of India. Right, our first nuclear research facility. We do not have a scientist. Oh, we do have a scientist. And he gets a nuclear research speed. Good. We will start on a nuclear reactor for 2 years, and we should have that by 1944. Oh, the Soviets. Oh, and the Allies have both joined the war against Iran immediately. I did not want that because it probably means they're going to join the Axis. So, I mean, it should distract them on the other fronts because we are having a bit of a trouble here. Right, there goes Iran. We did get majority of the war score, so we should be able to take all of it because no one else really did anything. Yeah, right, we've got all of Iran, which is good. So we've extended our borders to this quite horrendous looking landmass now. So we'll delete those front lines and we'll set up for Afghanistan next. But we are getting chonkier. Afghanistan actually has some changes to their terrain as well, so there's a lot of impassable routes you can't do, which makes it a little bit easier, I think, because it sort of creates these little corridors that you can go around and trap units in. Right, there goes Afghanistan, so we are now looking horrendous. It's like dragged India across. We'll go for Nepal next. Because of the mechanics with the Allies, they shouldn't really come in on any of these Asian nations, so we'll go for them and Tibet, and then we will make our way into China and help the Japanese defeat the Chinese and claim a load more land. Let's get the nuclear barrages for the soft attack of artillery, and we have got some CAS, so we can also get a bit of support mission efficiency, and then we can start making some bombs quicker as well when we get round to that. We have our justification on China, so let's roll on in. We'll help the Japanese out because they desperately need it by the looks of it. They seem to be flooding back to the sea, so let's get all of ours on attack. We've got our long-range CAS as well, so we'll absolutely cast them into oblivion because CAS is king. Let's go pick up Jaguar, and we'll get a new facility and also some heavy aircraft bonuses and a breakthrough point as well, which is nice. Nuclear reactor is done. We are getting somewhere. So we can start building wherever they are nuclear reactors. We can start getting them for some enriched uranium, so we will start making them in all the provinces. We've improved the infrastructure. We're going to be absolutely spamming the hell out of nuclear reactors. The Smiling Buddha project, just under 2 years, and we should have some nuclear bombs on the go, and we can use them to spread democracy. Uranium tipped bullets is done, so let's go and get the contamination because we get supply and attrition, which is very good because obviously we're fighting the wrong way into China, so my supply is pretty poor out here. Let's go and start on the ballistic missile because we want to start spreading some long-distance democracy. Our war goal on Bhutan is done because they are just playing dead possum there and trying to avoid us, but they will not. They will sit still and we will crush them still. Bring democracy to Bhutan. Right, China's done, and we did get quite a bit, to be fair, since we didn't have a lot of war score. Japan had a majority of it. They are owning the rest of Asia, so they are next on our goal. We will start by taking the China off of them, and then we'll jump to Japan. So they don't... Oh, I mean, they still have the guarantee from Germany. Germany seems to be doing okay-ish by the looks of it, so unfortunately we'll have to go to war with both them and the Axis. Come on then, Japan, let's see what you've got. Yeah, drag Germany and we don't care. They'll get some long-distance democracy soon. Japan hasn't got too many troops, so I think we should be okay here. It is not great terrain, I suppose, but we have all got mountaineers. They're gonna... Yeah, they've called China in. Brilliant. We will start on China then. They are trying to push us back immediately already. Now, I waited until I did Excavation 5 and all of them because you get 3 resources for every time you've done it. So all of my provinces are going to get a mass amount of resource now. Oh, crap. That's the famine starting. Why are we getting the famine? I haven't lost any states. I wonder if it's because of Burma. I think if you lost Burma, wasn't it part of it? Yeah, Burma loses a core. I mean, they lost the core ages ago. Maybe to do with it's now our enemy owns it. So we now get to find out about the famine mechanics. Brilliant. I look forward to that. There is some focuses that help it. So we'll get rid of that one. There's a couple of medical ones that help. So All India Students Federation gives plus 8% chance of prevention of the famine. Bit late for that. Our ballistic missile is done, however. Let's go start on the medium range missile then. Medium range ballistic missile, we'll get that on the go, and then we can finally go for long range ones and get warheads and all that jazz. So it starts with negative 15 stability, war support and political power, which isn't brilliant. It's going to put us to 0 basically. It can spread and become worse. It's going to last about 2 years at this rate, and there's a massive chance of it spreading. So we can use some PP to find out more of a time. We can ask for some aid, and we can do healthcare if we have hospitals or the focus quinine. I know there's a famine going on, but we're currently going to start researching thermonuclear bombs because we want some of them bad boys. We need the medium range missiles and the nuclear warheads for the intercontinental. So we'll just finish off China and then we can work on wiping out our famine. Right, the mainland is all of ours now, so the Britain have nicked a bit of our land here, but we'll just delete those. So I'm going to take some of our units and put them onto our cause to help with the famine, because we can close some black markets, and then we'll send some of them over ready to start on the invasion of Japan later on. So with troops in the provinces, we can start this shutdown black market. We can't remove them. I assume it's not going to take 3 years, but that's what it currently says. It just reduces the spread, but we're still at a 60% spread, which isn't brilliant. Germany is really not looking too well. I want them to survive so that I can jump in and help them with the Soviets, and then we can fight the Allies together. If I let them fall, I probably won't be able to take the Allies. So we want to take the Soviets. We've got enough land mass now to be able to start a huge front line with them. Right, the famine's over. We get 10% stability. In case I don't show it, or didn't show it, it got up to 55% stability, war score, war support, and political power. So the famine is not something to be messed with anymore. It's about time Japan learned of democracy by force. So we'll set up our 2 nukes. We are going for Tokyo because we don't really care. Going to see if I can actually get this executive nuclear strikes on Japan done and see if we can get them to surrender. But I highly doubt that that will work for some reason. Right, we can finally start on nuclear warheads so we can put our nukes into missiles. That is going to take like 2 years though, so we've got a long way ahead. Can I do... no, I can't do it because I need the nuclear warhead, so we'll just have to wait for them. Oh, this is truly the end of the world. As our nukes land, the Soviets have also decided to declare on the Allies, so the world is 100% just going to implode. And there goes Tokyo as well. So we have had 2 nuclear strikes on Japan, atomic bombing of Kyoto and Tokyo, but no one seems to care about Tokyo in the newspaper. So there's our nuclear strike finished. The one in Osaka seems to not go off, but we still had 2. It says it's failed, which means we've done it. So do they just get an event that they have to surrender? Yeah, I don't think it worked. I mean, they should surrender. Why are you not surrendering, Japan? We're going to have to paratroop you then, I think. So we'll get some paratroopers on the go again. Okay, I'm amazed that will managed to be pulled off. Where are the Japanese? They're not even guarding that port. I swear they at least guard the port. Let's get some divisions over here quickly. Did we just destroy all the Japanese when we pushed them off the mainland, maybe? Let's get that on the go with our force. No, they've still got 60 odd divisions. I don't know where they are then. And there we go. Japan is done. We have got majority of the war score, so hopefully we can get a lot of it. USA's got quite a bit actually, so I doubt I'll be able to get Japan itself. But at least if I can get all of China. Right, so I did get most of it. US got a little bit of it, but yeah, we've spread democracy to quite a bit of Asia now. Oh, brilliant. The Soviets have capitulated to the Allies. Oh, so there goes my plan of fighting the Allies with the Soviets. Oh yeah, that's absolutely brilliant. It's just me against the Allies now. Let's get bathed in hellfire, where our nukes now destroy military factories permanently. Oh man, we're so going to destroy the Allies' industry. Oh, this is perfect. If I join the Allies because they want me to, I can now just declare on Russia, and their guarantees mean nothing because we're in the faction who are guaranteeing you, and we will just immediately march in. They're not going to join the Allies. Loads of people are not. They're not really bordering. We'll just march straight in, and we'll also send our nukes. Oh, our first thermonuclear detonation of Moscow. Atomic bombing of Moscow. I mean, I think they'd immediately surrender since we've just crushed the Kremlin and everything around it. I can't quite see, but I assume all of their mills have just been instantly deleted. Nuclear warheads. Now we're getting somewhere. Let's go and start our research then of our ICBMs. Let's get intercontinental ballistic missiles, and that has got the Allies' name written all over it. Oh, is that the Russians already? Okay, Russians already gone. The Allies did jump in, which is rather annoying, so they did get some war score. Quite a bit, actually, so we'll try and take as much as possible, but I'm not going to get a big Russian puppet like I was hoping for. Say hello to border gore. I mean, that is absolutely disgusting. I hate it so much. So we've only got the Allies to take out now, so this is going to be very difficult. I mean, it makes it a little worse because we're actually part of it, so let's leave the faction and have a quick look at what you look like now. Brussels Treaty. Okay, it's not actually that bad because they haven't got the majority of Eastern Europe. It costs 350 PP to actually unlock the rest of my population now. That's and the game is basically telling me I've played too long now. It's basically told me to go touch some grass, but we will not touch grass until the Allies feel our wrath. Right, I'm definitely not going to be able to defeat them because my computer will just blow up by the time I do. But we will at least put them into absolute hellfire with nukes. I have lost all of my generals now who had the Britain trait thing, so we'll have to start recruiting some new ones, which is a little bit annoying. I totally forgot that was a thing. Ballistic missiles. Finally, we've got ICBMs. Let's get these bad boys into production. Can you actually get an MIO for them? I didn't know that. Let's get him on the go, though. We have got a lot to build, so let's just put mainly all of our factories on it. Oh, Tokyo, you were my test subject again. I mean, you thought you learnt the first time. Imagine getting nuked twice. How unlucky must you be in a city? But Tokyo has just been absolutely kablamoed. I assume, again, all of their meals have been deleted, but I don't actually have enough intel to be able to tell that. Oh, this is such fun. I'm just going to sit here and just nuke everyone's capitals. Atomic bombing of London. Again, have I got enough XP or enough intel? No, I can't really see, but I assume... I mean, it looks pretty bad just from these stats alone. Oh, the Plymouth one didn't go off, but Portsmouth did. Portsmouth got absolutely flattened. Without giving away where I live, I'm not too bothered that Portsmouth got absolutely smashed to oblivion by a thermonuclear bomb. Will this defeat the enemy without crushing my own divisions? I probably shouldn't have picked a thermonuclear one thinking about it, because it definitely will do the whole state, and it has it. Oh, wow. Yeah, that's a mistake. The old nuking along the front line doesn't work with thermonukes. If I just destroy every state, surely they'll have no mills anymore. So let's just continue the carpet bombing. I mean, why do half of them... It's like a 75% chance, but yet more than half don't go off. Oh, some of them were just delayed. Makes sense. Okay, there goes Birmingham as well. I really hope these ones go off. Oh, the middle one didn't. That was the one I really wanted. I mean, we pushed them back over the river, but I was hoping to crush all these divisions here, but that one didn't go off. I mean, so doing it with a normal nuke partly works, but you've got to wait so long. Right, let's just end Europe. I'm not going to win, so let's just end Europe in a blanket of hellfire. Every capital and main city is going. Some didn't go. There goes Berlin. Marseille. Paris is gone. Frankfurt's gone. Venice survived. The other ones must be waiting. Rome hasn't arrived yet, or Vienna, or Budapest. Rome didn't go off either. Or oh no, Budapest did. And Vienna. Oh, and Brussels and Amsterdam. There goes Belgium as well. Sorry, bit of steel. I really think there should be like a trigger white piece if you nuke so many times, because... You're telling me Britain wouldn't have surrendered after I completely flattened their whole nation and turned it into a fallout nuclear wasteland? But we will leave it there, guys. I think Gandhi has had his fun. He's taken over with democracy a good portion, and he's basically destroyed the world with the rest of it. If he can't have his democracy, no one can. Oh, actually, thinking about it, he does have one secret weapon left. And there is the secret focus tree of the new DLC. If you find any other secrets, please let me know so I can have a little look at them as well. So I hope you guys enjoyed this. Stay tuned for more Hearts of Iron coming up. Obviously, go and check out Graveyard of Empires DLC. It is now out now. There is a link to it in the pinned comment on this video. Shout out to all our members for always supporting the channel. I do appreciate you. Thank you guys for watching, and peace out.